Hello Scratchers, today we're going to be making a game called Pong. What we have to do in this game is stop the player from hitting the red lava at the bottom. And we do this by moving the paddle around, so you can see here it bounces off the paddle. This is going to be really exciting, so let's get right into it. Okay, so we're in a blank project here, and you can see we have this cat. Let's click on the delete since we won't need it in this project. Next, let's mouse over, choose a sprite, and click on paint. The first sprite we're going to be making is going to be the ball. So let's click on the circle tool, and I'm going to draw a circle, and I'm going to move it to the center. You'll see here it snaps to the center, and that's exactly what we want. I'm going to rename the sprite to ball, and let's click on the code. The basic mechanics of the ball are to bounce around the screen. Let's code that in really quick. I'll drag in when green flag click, forever, move 10 steps, and lastly, if on edge, bounce. When we press the green flag, the ball should bounce off of the screen. Yes, that's exactly what we want. We also want the ball to reset its position and go to the center when we press the green flag. I'm going to drag out and go to X and Y, and I'm going to change this to 0 and 140. If I click on this block, it should go to the top of the screen. I'll put this under when green flag clicked, and I'll also drag out point in direction 90. I want to point in a random direction when we start the game. Let's click on operators and drag out pick random 1 to 10. I'll change this to pick random 0 to 360, which is a full rotation. Now our ball should point in the random direction and go to the top of the screen. Next, we want to create the paddle. I'll create a new sprite, and I'm going to draw a small rectangle right here. I'll zoom in, click on the select tool, and snap the sprite to the center, just like that. I'll rename the sprite to paddle, and I'll click on the fill tool, and I'm just going to fill this in with a different color. There we go. The paddle is supposed to move at the bottom of the screen. To do this, we'll drag out when green flag clicked, forever, motion, go to X and Y. Inside of Y, I'll put minus 130, and for X, well, we want the paddle to move along with the mouse. I'll click on sensing and drag out mouse X. Mouse X is the position of the mouse. Let's click on the green flag, and our ball should be moving at the bottom of the screen. I'll mouse over, choose a sprite, and click on paint. And let's select the rectangle tool, and just so the player knows that it's lava, let's change this to a red color. Now I'll create the lava by drawing in the lava at the bottom of the screen, and you'll see here on the game view that it's not centered. You'll center by changing the X to 0 and the Y to 0, and now you'll see that it's the exact same position in the costume editor and the game view. I'll rename the sprite to lava. We want the ball to bounce off the paddle before it touches the lava. To do this, let's click on Control and drag out if then. If we are touching the paddle, then we want to rotate around. Click on motion and drag out turn 15 degrees. I'll change this to 180 and drag out move 10 steps. Now, let's press the green flag. If the ball touches the paddle, you'll see it bounces off. But you'll see it's pretty predictable, and it's going in the same loop over and over again. To fix this, let's drag out turn 15 degrees and put this under 180. I'll click on operators, and to randomize the direction, drag out pick random 1 to 10. I'll change this from minus 30 to 30. That way, our ball doesn't always bounce off in the same position. Next, we want the game to end if we are touching the lava. Let's click on Control, drag out if then. If we are touching the lava, well, let's click on Events and drag out the block, Broadcast Message 1. I'll click on the down arrow, click on New Message, and this message name is going to be called Game Over. I'll drag out the block when I receive Game Over, and if the game is over, we want to stop the script. Click on Control and drag out Stop All. I'm going to click on the down arrow and click on Other Scripts in this sprite. That way we don't stop the whole game, so the Game Over screen can show. I'll drag this code and drop it onto paddle, and now on the paddle sprite we should have that code on it. Great. Let's press the green flag and let the ball touch the lava, and you'll see the game stops. We want to make it pretty obvious that the game is over for the player. Let's create a new sprite. I'm going to select a white color and draw a huge rectangle on the screen, so just make sure it covers the whole screen. I'm going to set the position X to 0 and the Y to 0, so now the whole screen is white. I'm going to click on the text tool and type Game Over. You'll see nothing is showing here, and that's because the text is the same color as the background. So I'm just going to select everything and change the fill color to red. You can make this say anything you want, so I think I'm gonna say You Died instead. I'm going to rename this sprite to Game Over. I'm going to click on the Code tab. First thing we want to do is hide this sprite when we press the green flag so we can actually play the game. When the green flag is clicked, we want to hide. We also want this to show when the game is over. Let's click on Events and drag out when I receive Game Over. If the game is over, we want to show. I think I can make a little fancier Game Over script. Let's drag out Repeat Until, go to Looks and drag out Set Ghost Effect to 100. If we click on this code, the Game Over should hide, but it's not actually hidden. The ghost effect is set to 100, so it's invisible. To show it, let's drag out Change Color Effect by 20, and I'm going to change it to Ghost Effect by -10. If we click on this, you'll see that the Game Over screen slowly fades onto the screen. Also drag out Show, so the Game Over sprite shows when the game is over. I'll also make a little score so we can keep track of how much score we have. Let's click on Variables and make a variable. I'll call this score, or points. I'll press OK, and you'll see the points variable has been created. When the green flag is clicked, we want to set points to 0. That way it'll reset the game. If we are touching the paddle, let's change points by 1. Great! That should be all. Let's test out our game. So when the ball bounces off, you'll see point has increased. So that's it. Make sure to like and subscribe so you'll be notified when we create a new video, and scratch on.